Eckert.
Yes, sir.
Yo, Eckert.
I'm here. I hear you.
Thinking of getting new glasses tomorrow.
What kind?
I don't know yet.
Some sweet old school Sutter glasses? Retro?
No. I don't want to look like Kevin Costner. I'm going to go to the place that I buy the stuff locally. Just go to a local place. I don't want to go
Mom
to
and Pop.
Warby Parker, who is owned by Luxottica, because I'm on strike from Luxottica from my Oakley glasses issue from years back.
I don't know who Luxottica is.
They're a company that has a monopoly on the entire industry of glasses. They own every company or hold the rights to make the glasses frames. It's just such a ripoff. Such a ripoff. So I'm going to go to the local guy at Visual Eyes.
Ooh.
He's visual. He's eyes. And I'm going to get some glasses. We're going to see. Hopefully they don't have all hipstery glasses. I don't want to look like...
Well, you only wear your
hipster.
glasses just to read, right?
No, I wear them to drive.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, these things. Have to wear glasses for
Yeah.
that. Anyway, you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk, episode number 92s. We're on our way to 100. Do you think we'll be in Seattle when it's on our way to 100?
Close. I think we'll be at probably like 96 or 97.
All right, yeah, because we're heading out to Seattle for RAWtalk. We don't know which one, but we're doing a live RAWtalk. We've already gotten all the people on board that are there. We've already filled it up completely. I had to cut off the registration.
Nice.
Because there were too many people already. So we're going to do that live thing out in Seattle when I'm out there for Creative Live on July 10th, 11th, and 12th, doing a Creative Live, which you guys can watch for free if you watch live. And if you don't watch it live, then they're going to have it up there for sale after the fact. So did you have a good week?
I did, but just to clarify, the RAWtalk isn't actually going to be live, right? Just live to tape.
Well, RAWtalk won't be live.
Streaming live.
No,
yeah.
we're not streaming that live.
Exactly.
We're going to tape that one and then cut it because you have to come home and edit it and do all that. I mean, maybe one day we'll do the live thing.
Oh, I'm sure we will get there. Just,
But I don't
we're not
think-
ready for 2 weeks away from doing that.
Well, they could probably flick a switch and have us do it.
Yeah, they
but
probably could.
that would mean they have to have crew there and they have to have all these extra people, and I didn't want to go through taking care of that. I
Yeah.
wanted us to do our thing. And when we go live, maybe from here for maybe an episode, maybe. I said like maybe 17 times there. But maybe, shit. Possibly we will do a live one at some point. Okay, Sutter, you have a good week?
Yeah, sanded some wood, played lumberjack, borrowed a chainsaw, cut down some trees.
Sounds like a good old American week.
Is that what you really did?
Yeah, I borrowed a chainsaw, went to my brother-in-law's house.
Would you slip and cut your face and cut all your facial hair off?
My mustache was a part of the accident this week. No, it was cool. Way back when I said I was going to make a vanity for my girlfriend, I just started it this week.
I got to cut down some trees.
Cut down some trees.
Make me a vanity for my girl.
Okay, now that we know that Sutter's making a vanity for his girlfriend, we'll move on now that his face is short and squat. Anyway, the Fronos Photo bobblehead is alive and well.
I think it's time for a Ranty McRanterson.
It's not time, Mr. Bobblehead. You can check those out at store.froknowsphoto.com or froknowsphoto.com/bobblehead. A lot of people have started to get them in the mail. Heidi did a great job getting them out pretty quick.
Nice.
Unfortunately, we're not shipping around the world yet because of the price. To go
And-
to
and
Europe,
the handling,
well, yeah,
too.
it's $20
Wow.
just to ship to Europe. That's more expensive than this.
The actual bobblehead.
The problem is if it gets there or doesn't, if it gets lost, I'm out the $20 to ship it, and then I have to return the money to the people because it didn't get there. Or if it breaks, it's just something that I can't risk because there's no guarantee that it's going to get there in one piece just because we don't know how it's going to be handled. So
Makes
that's
sense.
That's that. But they're available in the store. People are loving them, and I'm starting to see pictures all over Instagram. People putting them in their car and at their desks and things
Well, I
like
saw
that.
the one guy got it like 2 days after we announced it.
It came live on Saturday, and Heidi was actually there shipping on Saturday, so she put stickers on some of the boxes and got them right out, and they were
Wow.
there Monday in Virginia.
That's great.
We talked about Creative Live. We got that going. The one thing that I didn't talk about, and I haven't done in a little bit, what's going on with your Squarespace?
Well, when I have time to do it, I will do it.
Yeah, I
right now,
know.
nothing. It's been sitting in the back burner
Sutter, how's your Squarespace?
because we've been recording
It's pretty
nonstop.
good. Half the road trip photos are up, if anyone's interested. I left the coming soon picture up on the front so people wouldn't start sneaking around and looking, but by the time this is out, I should have it all there.
Gotcha. The reason I bring up Squarespace is you and I made a video yesterday
Yes.
that we talked about that. It's not up yet, but Squarespace has an app that is a portfolio app that allows you to put basically, it will take all the photos from your site or the ones that you choose and allow you to have them offline. It will
Very
optimize them for your phone. It will download them to your phone. So if you're at a festival or if you're somewhere where you don't have a quick internet, say you're in a subway and you're sitting next to the most interesting person in the world that you want to show photos to, and you don't have an internet connection, you won't be able to load your website to show your photos. But if you use their free app and you have their service, you can then download this thing and all the photos go right onto your phone. And it works really simply well.
Really well.
The reason I bring it up is because we did something cool. We had to figure out how to record my iPhone or iPad. And we thought, well, let's plug it in. We'll AirPlay it to the TV. And then we realized we're not going to be able to take the video out from the TV.
HDMI out, yeah.
But we could be like, well, we'll just AirPlay it to the Apple TV and make the Atomos our TV. Mm-hmm. That's what we're... Oh, my phone's ringing. Is it DHL?
Ooh.
I'm waiting for DHL.
Maybe it is.
This could be DHL. If it's
Postman
not...
Fro might have a package for us.
Hello, this is Jared. It's DHL? All right. We'll be right down. Sutter, can you go get the DHL package, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sign my name.
Perfect
All right. Good
timing.
timing. I don't even know what's in the package. I just know there was coming. Anyway, back to the Squarespace thing. You're going to see this video, but it's cool. What we figured out is that we take the Apple TV and we plug the HDMI into that and into the Atomos.
The Atomos blade we use for this one, but you could use any Atomos.
Any of the Atomoses, because then we basically figured, well, the Atomos will act as the TV, but record it.
Yep.
So then we sat there and we recorded every movement I did on the iPhone, which was so awesome. Anyway, you'll see this video. The app is awesome, so especially just for doing what I said it would do. So if you haven't signed up for Squarespace, you can get a 14-day free trial over at squarespace.com/fro. And if you decide after 14 days that you like it, please use the code FRO. That helps me out. And you get 10% off your first order, which means you could be at like $8 a month for your entire, $8 a month.
The other
Not
cool
bad.
thing about the recording right to the AirPlay Apple TV or whatever, it actually shows the pinches and everything, all the movements from your
Wherever
fingers,
my finger touches.
which is really nice because when you're talking about it and explaining in detail, like, oh, you can swipe this picture this way, you can actually see in real time everything you're doing. So
That's
that video will be really cool when we put it out.
All right, I'm done with that. I'm done with plugs.
Well, and it's also amazing, speaking of plugs, that the Atomos can do this kind of stuff. You know, they always talk about, hey, it records externally to whatever DSLR, but they never bring up that you can do really any source that's HDMI. You can record anything.
Oh, maybe it is what we think it is. I'm going to hold this off because I'm...
Are we going to unveil it when it's...
Or should I unveil it now?
I think we should let him wait.
Because I don't even know if that's what is in here.
Yeah.
Well, let me see who it's
Well,
from.
who's
Why
it
don't
from?
Why don't you start with photo news? Because I just wanted to talk about those things that... It wasn't none of these things were actual. Well, I guess the Squarespace was a plug because it says plug. It says Squarespace plug. I wrote it that way. But the Atomos thing, I just wanted to talk about because it was cool. But let's get into
Very
the photo
interesting.
news. We've got Wheel of Fro coming up because I still have to pick a person. Gear of the Week and Flying Solo. And I was waiting for DHL, but they called.
First big news of the week, Nikon, they officially announced the D800 successor, the D810. Specs include an all-new 36.3 megapixel full-frame sensor, no OLPF, the optical low-pass filter like the D800E.
Hold on, excuse me. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
I'm
interrupting
interrupting.
already?
Well,
That's weird.
I know somebody yelled at me last week for that, but it's from Rode. So it's something else. So we'll open it up with
Wait,
your
is it
next
something that
photo
we'll be
news
talking
story.
about?
Yeah, it's not from Atomos. I was hoping it was going to be the Ninja. They told me they were shipping or
Okay.
the Star. Sutter.
Well, we could still use it for what
How
we're gonna
much
use it
cologne
for.
does that DHL guy have on?
It was really weird when he came up because he acted like he knew me. He was like, "Hey, Jared, how you doing, my buddy?" And I'm like, and I
First
just
of
signed
all,
your name.
he's seen me 8 million times. The reason I ask is because
Jared.
I caught a whiff of his cologne off
On the
of
package?
the package. And that is what this guy smells like. And he's like one of those guys that in the 80s, you could see would have the opened shirt with the hair coming
Hairy
out of the
chest.
stomach, hairy on his chest, and have a necklace on. That's what that guy reminds. And he has got the mustache.
Yep.
You could see that he was like in the 70s. He's all into like the porn stash type. Anyway, I digress.
Anyway, the D810, again, all new 36.3 megapixel full frame sensor, no OLPF. The ISO range is now 64 to 12,800, which is, I believe, the standard one for that. And then it's expandable from 32 to 51,600. I can't believe that ISO is that low, which is great.
Well, 64 is very low for a camera. I don't
And then
think
you
we've
have
seen
32.
Well, but 32 is considered low one. They tell you. I asked this. What does 64 to 12,800 mean? And when the others are L1 or H2, and they're like, well, they're The main ones are the optimum quality ones. That's what the engineers recommend using because they don't feel that the quality is as good at lower or higher ISOs.
I wonder why they even include 32 then if it's not going to be as good as, say, 64.
I don't know that answer.
5 frames per second, full frame, and then you have 7 frames per second if you go in DX mode. Now it'll also shoot RAW small now, so you can cut that megapixel almost in half. X-Speed 4 image processing engine, improved autofocus, including group area autofocus taken from the D4S. 1080p video now at 60p, no 4K unfortunately, which a lot of people were kind of upset about and thought that this would have. New Kevlar carbon fiber composite shutter that reduces lag and shutter noise apparently. 3.2-inch LCD display. It has a new split screen mode with color balancing settings, 100% viewfinder coverage, improved grip, and optimal layout of operations controls. An added flat picture control setting for capturing as much highlight information as possible for like better color grading in post. And it'll be available on July 17th for about $3,300.
Yeah, $3299.95, which is the same price as what the D800E was. Did you mention the no OLPF?
Yep.
Which is the key to this camera. They talked about they're just really happy with the sensors. Like, I didn't like the D800 very much, and people ask me why all the time. And the restrictions on the ISO was 1, and 2, the focusing. I had trouble with the focusing of that camera. I know a lot of people love that for studio work, and it's perfectly fine for that, and the focus wasn't as big of a deal. I also know that some friends that rented it as soon as it came out and used it on some big shoots, and everything back-focused. It may have been just an early model or something that was doing that, but they had major issues with it, and I know that I had some issues with it. But I think that this D810 is a nice evolutionary step because it's like the D4 to the D4S. It added some really, really cool functions and features, better ISO, 5 frames a second, RAW small for the people that want to do that.
RAW small is great for that, yeah.
And it just seems like a much better camera at this point. And the price, $32, it's not bad. It's expensive. And for the people to upgrade, if you're in the studio shooting every day and you're making money, I didn't say this in the video. You can see my preview video on the website. But look, if that is what you're doing and you're at low ISOs already, you're at 100 or something, and the camera does everything you need, I don't know that you need to take this step to this next camera.
Yeah.
But if you're a wedding photographer, well, that's a good one. If you're a wedding photographer, it probably is a good upgrade because you are making money shooting. This would be a good step up for the extra frame a second if you're doing that, for the RAW small, because I would probably shoot the party in RAW small.
Yeah.
Why
well,
would you? Yeah.
For example, like with the Canon, my 5D Mark III, I typically shoot meet and greets at RAW small because I want a small file, but I also don't want to shoot in JPEG. So I just do RAW small so I can still do everything in post. But they say the color gamut and stuff gets a little compressed when you do RAW small or medium or whatever.
Sure, but
for
for the party shots,
for little stuff like that,
I still want to be in RAW, but I don't want to shoot JPEG.
Exactly, yeah. Now I will say the D800, I think the ISO was pretty bad with video. I mean, if we pushed anything past say 3200, if we were shooting in like a low light area, then it really showed.
Sure.
Now with the Canon, I can shoot 2500 easily and still
25,000?
be fairly clean. 2500, not
well,
25,000. I'm saying the D800 even at like 1600 and up, you can really see the noise.
The D4S at like 25,000 for video is actually still pretty good.
Yeah.
But the D800, yeah,
I would never use it at 25,000, but
no, but the video point, they added the auto ISO thing, which I loved, with the incremental stops that change slightly, gradually, so you don't have herky jerkiness.
This will be great for that. Correct.
Yeah. I could see using 3 D810s for this.
Yeah. But hey, Nikon, you want to give us 3 D810s?
Exactly. What's up next?
Next up, we have, speaking of new products, Rode has announced the SmartLav Plus is an upgraded version to the original portable SmartLav they put out, I think, last year. Features updated are the microphone capsule to improve sensitivity and lower self-noise.
It's now 10% more sensitive. Don't quote me on that.
They also added a Kevlar reinforced cable.
Wait, what's with everything getting updated with Kevlar?
I don't know.
It was the D800 has a Kevlar shutter.
Yeah.
This now has a Kevlar.
It's probably just a marketing term. So users basically can't damage the microphone. They hopefully can't damage the microphone under normal conditions with this new Kevlar cable. And it's available now for $79, which I think is the same price as the original SmartLav.
But wait.
Good timing, by the way.
They just came here in the mail. We got a couple of them.
Oh, they sent two?
There's 2. This is an adapter that you can go to a Zoom H1 or something, or maybe to put it into the phone. I think it goes into the phone anyway. But wait. It's new plus improved. SmartLav Plus by Rode.
New plus improved.
It's a new
I
plus
think new
improved.
and improved.
Oh, that's and? Why didn't they use an ampersand?
Well, because they're going along with the whole Smart Lab Plus.
But it just looks weird.
I mean, I guess you could say it either way, but I'm
doesn't
sure
it say-
reading it, it's new and improved.
Yeah, I get it, but it's like new plus improved.
And they say this one's supposed to be more broadcast quality and broadcast ready.
Well, either way, the Smart Lab is one of those things. Plugs aside, because this isn't actually a plug; it just came in the mail. This is one of those updates to a product that was good. So the Smart Lab was already good. The Smart Lab Plus, building on that, inexpensive, throw it in the bag. Definitely going to give you guys the ability to get some nice audio.
Very, very nice. Yeah, I'm excited to check these out and test them out. Meanwhile, we have a photographer named Jonathan Eade. He was hit by an Amtrak train in Missouri and killed during a recent photo shoot. Police say the train came around a blind curve and couldn't stop in time, which struck the photographer.
Can I interrupt you?
No. Nah, yeah, you can.
You're on the freaking train tracks. How's a train gonna stop in time, for one? But if the train had time to stop and you're photographing, how the hell did you not get out of the way of the train?
Well, apparently this was on a bridge, so this thing was apparently just narrow, so narrow that really you couldn't go anywhere besides the tracks itself.
Yeah, how about don't play on the train tracks?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the worst place possible. And apparently he passed like 4 no trespassing signs, which is what Amtrak said. And they said a train that big would take about a mile of track to stop fully. So it came right around the curve. And apparently under the tracks, there was the highway, so the photographer couldn't hear the actual train coming. So that's why he got hit. And
hasn't he ever seen Stand By Me?
And the engineer.
Should I ask them if they've seen Stand By Me?
I know what it is, but I've never seen it.
River Phoenix.
Who's the other guy? Isn't Will Wheaton in it?
I don't know who Will Wheaton is.
You don't know who Will Wheaton is?
No.
The guy from, isn't it Star Trek?
I don't know.
But yeah, so the Amtrak train engineer says that he did everything. He put the warning signs up. He put it in emergency mode, everything, and he just couldn't stop, which is a shame. So yeah, moving forward, we have...
But just a word of warning, people. If you're going to go into dangerous places where you can get hurt, a.k.a. climbing buildings, Sutter, going into abandoned buildings that have holes and are dilapidated and falling apart, you got to be careful. And if you're going to stand on the train tracks to take pictures, don't stand on the train tracks. How about that? And if you're going to be out there shooting, don't have earplugs in so that you're listening to music and not hearing shit going on.
There's a new iOS app. It's called Golden Hour that basically does just that. It notifies you when the best time of day to shoot is. When launched, the app displays the time of day when the sun will rise and set on that particular day. Users can now also enable push notifications, so the app notifies you moments before the golden hour is about to begin. The best part is that it's free in the iOS in the App Store. And I actually tried this out today, and it works really well. It's very, very simple. You just hit it, and it says when the sunrise is and when the sunset is.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Based on your location?
Based on your location, yeah. There's a new night sky panoramic time-lapse video that was shot in 360 degrees and has a similar, your favorite little planet effect going on. Photographer Vincent Brady created a custom rig for 4 DSLRs, not GoPros this time, that all equipped with fisheye lens, and they were set to 1 to 2 minute exposures. He set them all to continuous and took as many pictures as he could until basically the batteries died, which resulted in the final video. It's very cool and a trippy video, actually, similar to almost like a cinematograph where the sky is moving but the ground is static. Now, the National Park Services, they told the Associated Press that it will soon ban the use of drones in all 401 parks across America. The Park Services Director, Jonathan Jarvis, says the threatening and harassment of wildlife is their main concern here. He also notes the safety of rock climbers and visitors as a major concern as well.
I call shenanigans.
Yeah, we'll see.
The threatening of wildlife and safety?
Yeah. They said they wanted to put this rule into effect before anything serious happens.
All right, so it's good they're taking a proactive approach here. I think that a better approach would be we're going to give out a limited number of permits that you have to go through to get in order to do this, which means you need to be a capable flyer. You need to know you need to have insurance. These are things that instead of just, flat out banning it is fine, but giving people the ability, because they're the national parks. We pay for those freaking parks with our tax money. We should be able to go in there and create some art or something that we're doing. So it would be nice to see them come up with a way to get approval through the proper channels to go and do this type of thing.
Well, actually, that's what I'm going to move on to. According to the AP report, parks can continue to grant permits for drone flights for research, search and rescue, firefighting purposes, and commercial operators and filmmakers can also apply for a permit to operate a drone. So the average person can't go in and just fly it. You got to still get a permit. But it seems like if you want to make a film, you can still do that.
Boo-boo.
Now, on the opposite side of things, the University of South Florida will
Go Bulls!
They'll be letting students check out drones, DJI Phantoms to be specific, from the campus library. The staff believes it will be an educational experience for students that range in studying everything from engineering to architecture to photography. The school says each student that wants to check it out will be trained and supervised before being allowed to check a drone out. I actually wouldn't be surprised if, like, my old university does something like this, because we could check out, you know, any camera stuff we want, and this is great to get those bird's eye angles for whatever short film you're making.
Well, see, at least they build the educational aspect into it. We're going to train you how to fly it before you go out and do it. I mean, that's cool. And the University of South Florida, my brother went there.
Did he?
Actually. Yeah, so my
Did
brother...
he like it?
Yeah. I mean, he was one... It's a commuter school, or used to be more of a commuter school.
Gotcha.
But he, you know, got sent to Florida, basically. He loved it down there in Tampa. And the Bulls, actually, they're pretty good. Good basketball team now, good football team. They really revamped their school.
Very nice.
To compete with the other people.
Let's see. There's a new comical photo series. It's called In Extremis Bodies with No Regret. It recreates the moment that people fall. The series, which is showcased on Instagram, is being run by photographer Sandro Giordano. He got the idea after he was in a bike accident last year and remained holding on to an object in his hand while he fell, which resulted in losing 30% function in his hands. So the series features people basically clutching onto whatever they were holding after they did the devastating fall. The photographer says, in quotes, "We live in a time where we risk material things becoming more important than our own lives, and this is really worrying," end quote.
You mean like taking pictures on the train tracks?
Pretty much, exactly like that. But it is actually a pretty funny photo series. All the models are face down, legs in the air, you know, cliche like fall pose.
That
Very
reminds
well
me of a
thought out,
song.
though. What song?
It reminds me of a very popular hit song from the 90s called, get your bleep ready, Face Down, Ass Up, That's the Way We Like to Bleep.
Oh, classic.
That
Classic
is by
track.
Two Live Crew, booty shaker music.
Do you listen to that a lot? Is that the song you were listening to when I came in today?
No, but remind me after to put that on the sound system.
Okay. We'll rock out to that when we're cleaning up for RAWtalk.
Two Live Crew.
So Flickr has revamped their photo pages once again, all the time. The most notable difference being the layout in the photo information area, which has been moved instead of like to the right of the photo. It's now under it.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you
Jared,
actually...
yes.
I raised my hand.
You did.
Do you... I use Flickr to upload stuff to. I personally rarely ever do anything else on Flickr other than store my images there and just share them, and I don't really engage on Flickr.
I don't personally either. I will say I use them for the radio station to post some pictures that I can't find, and I need like a copyright-free image that I can use on Flickr, depending on the rights or whatever of that actual image. But that's the only time I actually search or do anything on Flickr, really.
Sutter, do you use Flickr like that?
Yeah. I use it.
When did you get love on your arm tattooed?
I've had that for over a year and a half.
I thought you just had like a peace sign and then you got the LOVE. Can you dig it? No, I know he's got a shovel on his arm.
You dig?
Yeah. Go ahead. Back to Flickr.
So
I use it just.
Oh, just kidding.
Oh, no worries. I basically use it as if you were using Tumblr or Facebook or anything like that. It's just a cool community, but it's specific to images instead of guess whatever status is sort of thing.
Do you still use Snapchat a lot?
Yes.
Oh, it hasn't died yet?
I use
Nope.
Snapchat too.
Do you?
Yeah. You use Tumblr a lot, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, Tumblr, I don't personally use Tumblr at all. So users are also reporting a big speed update for Flickr. It's just nice to see that they're constantly evolving and taking under user considerations of what they need to update. There's a new Kickstarter campaign that brings a new photography-related game to light called Paparazzi. The 8-bit game is centered around 2 players, the photographer and the celebrity. The goal is for the celebrity to avoid the photographer's camera. It's kind of like Duck Hunt, but with people.
Oh, well, now that you put it into...
Yeah. The photographer gets an emulated viewfinder and a bird's eye view of the environment, which the celebrity then runs around attempting to get away from the paparazzi. And then you pretty much fire them off like it's a target. The game has already hit almost half its goal, which is $5,000 at the time of this recording, and it still has about a week left. So I don't think it'll get funded, but...
They're looking for 10 grand for that?
No, they're looking for $5,000, but they only funded about half that, which is about $2,500.
Why not just make the game? At that point, in $2,500, just make the game.
Yeah, I think they wanted $5,000 to make more. There's only one celebrity they have, which I don't think they named. They want to make more characters and more levels because there's only 2 different environments you can play in, like a club and the middle of the city or something like that.
Okay.
Now, the other thing to that is for a $10 pledge, you can get a digital copy of the game when it comes out. Or if you want a more customized experience, you can drop $250 for your own celebrity character that they'll make personally. So you can get a little Jared Polin running around. Little bobblehead.
Maybe you should do that.
The fro in the foreground.
That's called marketing. And if it does get funded and it goes there, and it'll be running around with the fro.
Now, I wonder if they would make the celebrity character universal for every game or just your personal game they work
I
it
don't want
into.
it just in my game.
Yeah,
I want it to go out to everybody. For $250?
What they would do.
I deserve that.
Let's see. Moving forward, we have a couple more stories. There's a new stunning 4K time-lapse video that takes you across America in about 5 minutes. Photographer Joel Schatt took the footage as he traveled across the states. Features mostly landscapes like national parks, but this is definitely a must-see. I don't know if you saw this, but it's just really amazing, the footage that he did here.
You know what's funny?
What?
Right now, it's like when HD became the thing, and everything was in HD. Well, that went away because everything was in HD.
Now
and now
4K.
everything's stunning video in 4K. And that's going to go away too.
And then 8K.
Well,
and then
6K and then 8K and then whatever else they're going to do.
Yep.
But yeah, you realize something like that? I catch myself when I'm putting up, I'm and it's in HD. I'm of course it's in HD.
Well, everything I think standard pretty much is HD now. But 4K, there's still probably only maybe 5% of people in the States that have a 4K.
5%?
You think little? Or?
Dude, I think it's under 1%.
Really?
The TVs aren't expensive. They're
still pretty expensive, but
relatively speaking,
they're not.
For $4,000, I think you can get a 60-inch 4K TV. For about $5,000, you could probably get a 50 or 60-inch Sony or Samsung 4K.
That's actually not that bad.
Not that bad compared to when you buy a 60-inch for about $1,800 for a Samsung 60-inch,
something
roughly.
like that.
It's unbelievable how the price has dropped. Now, there's no programming for it, and nobody really has cameras for it. So right now, it doesn't make sense to have it.
Well, and cable, broadcast is 720p they're still broadcasting at for their HD channels.
Sure.
So that's not even caught up to 1080 yet.
I don't know if it has or it hasn't.
No, I'm pretty sure most of it's still 720 or 1080i.
Right.
And then we have a couple more. Paramore, there's a photo pit story. I think you want to explain
Ain't
this?
it fun? How's the song go?
Like that.
But how's it go?
Ain't it fun? I don't know anything else besides Ain't It Fun.
Oh
yeah, that part. Wait, what?
I just make up my own words to the beat.
To the melody, yeah.
Ain't it fun? Paramore.
I'm
What
actually
other songs?
photographing them tomorrow.
Are you going
so by
to
the
that?
time this comes out, I've already shot them.
Are you going to shoot that?
Yeah, them and Fallout Boy, the Monument Tour.
Oh, it's so monumental.
In good old Camden, New Jersey.
Do you know how many times Paramore has been here in the last 2 years?
Yeah, 4 times because I photographed them almost every time.
I think it's been more than that. But anyway, so the story goes, and a lot of photographers were posting, what do you think about this? And is this such BS? Paramore is selling a limited amount of disposable cameras at their show. Okay, I think it's 20, and it's the first 20 people that come out and buy it have the opportunity to purchase it. And in 2 of those cameras, there's photo passes to be able to go into the photo pit and use that camera to shoot photos.
The golden ticket.
At which time you then give the camera back, and I think they process it and post it with your name or something.
Do you know how much it is for a camera?
I don't
Probably
know,
well
but I would
overpriced.
venture to say it's probably $25. I don't know why they would. I don't. I'll just, in terms of price, I don't know why you would only have 20 of them. Maybe sell 100 of them and do it at $20 a pop if you want, and it's a limited special Paramore point and shoot, which nobody, not even a point and shoot, disposable, which nobody uses. I don't have any problem with them giving away 2 photo passes to have people who are the fans have an opportunity to get to a place where they would never be, which is in the pit. And any photographer that's going to bitch that, and I mean, I thought about this first. Well, I don't want those people in the pit. But then you sit there and you go, you know what? They're the fans. They're the reason why I'm standing here in the pit taking pictures of the band, because if the fans weren't fans of the band, then there would be no band here playing. It's the band having fun and doing something that's cool for marketing and doing something that's cool for branding and giving back to fans. I'm totally for that. I think that's fine. And so what if there's these 2 people in the pit? They're most likely going to be just enjoying themselves, and they're not going to get in your way. That's my feeling on that.
Now, I wonder if they're going to let them use flash because it's a disposable camera, and
it
most
could be
of the
a
time
disposable without flash.
You think they'll sell it like that, though? They're
But
probably going to get a standard camera and put a sleeve over it.
But even if it has a flash, who cares?
Yeah.
It's their band. It's the band choosing to do that.
No, it'd be ironic if they can use their flash and the other photographers couldn't.
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think?
I really do think. Why? It's like rain on a summer's day. A free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. But who would have thought it figures? Mr. Play It Safe was afraid to fly. He waited his whole damn... Oh, wait. He packed his suitcase. He waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And as the plane crashed down, he felt... Isn't this nice? Well, isn't it ironic?
Don't you think?
I really do think.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
Got it.
And then we have one more story. GoPro, they officially went public.
GoPro went public. GoPro went public this morning, and I'm bringing out my phone to check out the stock price because it went IPO'd at about $24, which is the initial public offering. It's at $31.34 right now. It's up $7.34. Now, I don't know if the public was able to purchase at the IPO price. See, this is what throws me off and what pisses me off about the whole stock market. And anybody out there that's involved with the stock market understands that when there's an IPO, like when Twitter IPO'd at $26 or whatever it was, and then it jumped right up to $46 at the bell, the everyday person couldn't purchase at $26. Only the big companies that are funding and backing it got access to buy at $26 and then literally probably sell as soon as it goes live and shoots the price up, and then it comes back down at the end of the day or after the first week, because that's what happens with the IPOs. So who knows if this shot up at $26 and the public could purchase it. I know they said they were going to offer some to the public, but who knows if that actually happened. I just hate this. I just
don't get how that is fair at all.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's bureaucracy, BS in the stock market. It's been going on for 100 years.
Yeah.
Just insider. It's not insider trading. It's just not. The system is rigged so that the rich people can buy in and buy low, sell high, make more money.
Mm-hmm. Just make more money than they already have, and then the average person is probably losing money.
Well, they wouldn't. I mean, if you bought in. I mean, a lot of people bought Facebook when it first came out, and that stock shot straight up to like $40-some in the first day,
then it
just tanked.
Yeah.
Its low was 18, and then in one day it went from 18 to 36, and I believe it's at like 60-some now.
Yeah.
So if anybody stuck it out, they would have been fine, but most people didn't.
Yeah. So that is it for photo news this week.
Is it time for flying the Solo?
It is time for flying the Solo.
And then after that, we've got gear of the week, and we have a wheel of fro, which I haven't actually picked the person, so I'm going to pick it from one of these people that ask questions. So I asked people for flying solo questions again this week and told them to make them good, which doesn't always work. I know you love the same questions being asked, but there's a question about that.
Is there?
So we'll bring that up. Jess Gerhardt. I get told that my SLR cuts off video after a few seconds because the SD card is not formatted to record video. Does formatting your SD card to record video change or negatively affect the way it saves pictures? How do I go about doing that formatting or the formatting? I guess, wow.
I don't know what
I get it. I don't know who is telling you the misinformation that they're telling you, but you just format your card in your camera and it's formatted for the camera. I think what may be happening, and the reason I'm bringing this up because it's not the formatting that would be cutting the card off after a couple seconds. It would be that it's a crappy card.
Yeah.
That it's a slow card. That it's one of maybe the free cards that came with something that isn't going to be able to keep up with the HD speed that the camera needs to write to the card. And I've seen that in cameras where you put it in there and it's like you'll only get 12 seconds. Why? And that's because the card is not capable of accepting those files quick enough.
That constant data stream, it can't keep up.
That's why we recommend when you have SD cards, you spend the money for the Class 10 cards, whether it's the Lexar Pro or Platinum or high-end cards that they have, or the SanDisk Extreme Pros. They're not that expensive, but like what's that guy's name for Nikon? Corey Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Rich said this in one of his videos. He's like, you spend all of this money to travel, you have all of these assistants, you have all of this stuff, you have all this camera gear, to then go ahead and put a crappy card in there and have something happen means you're going to lose so much. You're losing so much money.
You're losing everything.
Why are you risking your entire shoot that you put together and all this money that you've had and put your job on the line by putting a shitty card in the camera?
I agree.
So the last line, the only thing that matters there is the final product. And if you put a quality card in there, 9 out of 10 times, it's never, there always can be something that can go wrong, but you're better off investing in better cards.
I think they recommend for full HD when shooting 1080 to do at least 30 megabits a second card, Class 10, obviously.
Megabytes a second?
Yeah.
For those. And most of the SanDisks are 45 or higher. Mm-hmm. Just be sure to read. That's a good point. Somebody asked that a while ago, what to look for. Because there could be Class 10s that do quick transfer rates from the card to the computer, but their write speeds are very slow.
And you can go UHS 1 or 2, but a lot of cameras don't really support UHS 1 or 2,
Right.
even my 5D.
You want at least a 45 megabyte write speed.
Yeah, I would say that would be the best. And CF cards you should be fine with because a lot of them are much faster than the SD cards anyway.
Absolutely. Sutter, how much time are we in? I just want to get a gauge.
40 minutes.
All right, I just want to gauge.
Gauge.
All right, here we go. Steven, go and take your money and run. Hoo, 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 hoo. Here's a little song here's a little ditty about Jack and Betty Sue. Stephen Miller, when is it proper for you to host a workshop? I have a lot of my clients ask them to just teach them. Wow. So he means me. I have a lot of my clients ask me to teach them the basics of their camera so they know it better. I've been shooting for 2 years. I feel perfectly confident teaching the basics. Well, first off, there is no time, just like becoming a professional, that says you can teach or you can't teach. If people are looking to you to be the person that teaches them, then if you feel confident that you have a knowledge and you can teach them the fundamentals and basics and help them, that's all that matters. They believe in you. You don't have to have a teaching degree. You don't have to have a following. You just have people that are interested.
And you need to know your shit, too.
Well, that's why I said you have to feel confident in what you know and you're not selling BS. You know a story you didn't bring up, and I think I'll bring it up now.
What story?
That Doug Gordon thing again.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to bring it up.
The reason I'm bringing it up, why didn't you want to bring it up?
Just because we don't know the facts really about it, and we don't know if it's.
We don't know the facts from what we read. From what I read, for anybody that doesn't know, this Doug Gordon guy got caught with a year ago or so. Can you get that fuzz off my arm? Thanks. A year ago or so, just blatantly took people's posts or something, allegedly.
That wasn't even that
admittedly.
long. Was that a year ago?
It was before. It was not even a year ago. You're right. So basically, what happened is somebody was searching the site again and saw that his About Me page matched the exact text of the About Me page from a marketing company that Nikon hired to write his bio. This is based off of my memory, what I'm reading.
I didn't even read the full story. So
right.
I don't
Well,
have much to say.
that was basically it. Was that he was using that, and then he said that and this is all I'm going to say allegedly.
Yeah,
Just
that's
allegedly,
the proper
he
word
said,
to use.
Allegedly, he said that that was left over from the last scandal, and he forgot to clean it up and get rid of it.
Last scandal.
Okay, that's fine. But he's friends with Gary Fong, and he sent Gary Fong an email and said that to him, and Gary Fong then didn't defend him allegedly this time in an email, and I think Petapixel went ahead and posted the emails because Gary Fong didn't want to stand behind him anymore. He's like, I believed him the first time, allegedly, and I don't allegedly believe him now. So I'm paraphrasing. But that basically they matched up all he did was change his photography words for the marketing words, and the company allegedly said that he didn't have the rights to use it. Allegedly.
Interesting.
But that's like, come on. Like, you have to be so careful today with that, especially in our position.
Yeah.
And I know you do that with the photo news, making sure that you grab photos that we're able to use.
Most of the time, I don't even post them. I just say, click here to check it out, just to be safe.
Right.
I don't want to use someone's image without proper use.
And that's just one. Anyway, I brought that up. Anyway, that was it. Just because. Gina Pemberton, have you considered doing an online school on different subjects? And if so, I think they should be 6-week courses. This is one of those tough ones. I haven't exactly I've thought about how I could teach more people online, and I think one of the ways doing so was the video guide in the first place, coming out with the beginner guide. I did think about doing creating like a 8-week, 10-week course that anybody could sign up for at any time, and then weekly they get sent information. There are a lot of people that do things like that, and I think people would take it. It would be more of like a $300 product because it's a 10-week long thing. But with that, you got to build the infrastructure. You also have to then be able to give people critiques and give them feedback about the images that they're doing. I've thought about doing stuff like that. I'm not sure that I'm going to go that direction, but I think people would be interested in it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like the Strobus kind of has something similar set up to where it's like he has the lighting 101, lighting 102, breaks it down for assignments and stuff. It's kind of like a class, but
it's
not
just
really.
giving you assignments.
Yeah.
And I think the key
But then he also explains everything, and it's cool.
But the key to it is critiquing people's work and being able to give them feedback. Because if you just go out and do these assignments and you can't get any help, like, well, what did I do wrong? Why is this out of focus? That's why I love the in-person things, because people can shoot and then you can stand there while they're doing it and help them get the aha moments on how to figure it out.
Very true.
Lear La Madrid. Have you ever considered charging people for rapid-fire critiques? Can you do a poll on whether people are happy to do that, and how much are they willing to pay for rapid-fire critiques only? I'm happy to pay and wait in line if that ever happens. That's an interesting one. I love doing rapid-fire critiques, and I have thought about this, and I know there's other photographers out there that have started to charge for rapid-fire critiques. It's such a tough call.
It's a fine line.
It's a fine line because I don't want to feel like I'm doing it just for money. But in business, if people want something and are willing to pay for something, and they'll be happy to do so, and they can benefit from it, then it may be something to look into doing. That's the business end going through my brain. I think people want it, but what do you price it at? Sutter, what would you want? What would you pay for a critique? You're an everyday person.
I don't even know. I personally wouldn't even pay for one. That's just me. And the other thing you have to think about is if you do the pay thing, everyone that pays, you're going to have to critique. And if you don't have the time,
well, that
or
right,
the place
and
either, 'cause
part
that
of it
could
is
be
the time.
Tough.
I wouldn't. This is something where when I do a critique of somebody's 10 photos, it's anywhere from 12 to 20 minutes, and I like to over deliver. But I don't want to put a time frame on it because it's not about the length; it's about the content that you deliver. Yeah. I could see doing this, but you have to ask yourself: is it worth it? I would have to make a video. I would upload it for these people, and then it would go privately to them. I still would continue to do free ones that I pick. It's a fine line because as well as I know, I put something out like a bobblehead or a t-shirt or anything that nobody is forced to buy anything, and people just rip you to shreds. Some people rip you to shreds. But on the other hand, if people are willing to purchase something, this is something I'm thinking about doing. Whether it's a paid subscription to the website, because this was a question similar on the survey that we did. The survey asked, would you like to pay for like higher end content or more personal something or other? And I think critiques would fall under that as well.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm thinking about doing it. It's just, do I price it? Where do I price it? And
it's a good question. I have no idea.
But I would do it, and I know people would do it, and I know that I would be able to help them. See, I always have trouble wanting to charge for certain things.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like, well, maybe I should just give it to them because it's going to help them learn. But then on the other hand, people want to pay, and when you're doing this stuff, you have to get paid for your time. It's just like photography. For the most part.
Very true, yeah.
Okay, so I answered that, I think. Was that an answer?
Yeah, I think that was an answer. Well,
What?
I don't know. You never really said if you were going to do it or not.
I said I'm thinking. I
thinking
thought
about
about doing it for a long, long time. No, I would consider it and probably limited it to a certain amount a month because I'm not going to sit here.
Because it's a lot of work on your end,
it's
too.
a lot of work because you shoot it and then you have to edit it and you have to pay attention and you have to deliver.
Yeah.
You have to give people the critiques. And I know, and that's why I was thinking of maybe doing personal, like mentoring, which is coaching. And when you talk about coaching, you're talking about high ticket pricing. You're talking about somebody's going to pay you for a month, and that's going to give them, say, 2 critiques and maybe 2 phone calls or 2 Skype calls with you of X amount of time, and you're looking at maybe $1,000 thing.
Do like a package deal.
Well, it would be like $1,000. You price it where you think it's worth, and people can make a ton of money with photography. And if they talk to you about marketing and branding and whatever they want to talk to, and they get that aha moment out of talking to you, then it was well worth it.
Yeah.
So those are just things that go through the mind. I haven't done it yet, but it's not out of the question. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does, actually.
All right. Wow. Why did I put all these questions here? They all seem to be the same. Devin Ford, are you planning on making video guides at intermediate or advanced levels? We've been talking about this, we did a 5-minute portrait with Maria that's 45 minutes long.
We didn't put that out yet, right?
It's not out yet. Then I did a 45-minute editing, or maybe it's like a 60-minute editing thing, going through all of those photos and what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, and putting that out as like it's on like an hour and 45 minutes of stuff.
Yeah.
We're giving that away for nothing.
Yep.
And you know that I sat here debating, should I charge people for it? Right? And
we
I chose
went back and forth on that for a while, yeah.
And I chose not to. And that's going to go up and that's going to be free. And there's a reason we did it because it was just you and I shooting. It's not fully produced with a crew and everything. But if I do more advanced, because the question here is everybody asks about the intermediate and advanced because they want help doing that. And I don't think that you can flat out make guides and courses to teach people more advanced stuff unless you get into actual shoots. And so going and following us along on a shoot and then talking about the shoot and then watching everything happen and breaking it down, that's the type of thing that I could see making for these people.
Well, similar to like how your guides are set up, but instead of it being a 3-hour, super in-depth guide,
Maybe
it could be
2-hour
breakdown
type
in
thing.
like little segments or something like that.
Right, but it wouldn't go into the basics of how to set your camera for aperture, how to do the exposure
It would be
triangle.
understood that the person watching already knows that kind of stuff.
Right, it would be like, hey, look, here, let's bring Von Wong in and let's make a video that's long form and show you how and give you a brain dump. So
I would like
that's
to see his post-processing, actually.
I know.
Yeah, I like his stuff.
And that would be interesting.
His surreal post-processing.
Wesley Kane, not Kanye. Wesley Kane, technology is always being upgraded. Would you consider professional, quote-unquote, cameras from 4 years ago, for example, a Canon 5D Mark II, still professional compared to modern cameras, or have they lost their pro title? Can a camera lose its pro title? Also, after how long would you recommend upgrading your camera body or lenses? I'm not answering the last part of that because that all depends on your need. Mm-hmm. But that's a very good question because it's kind of true. After 4 years, I think it's longer than 4 years for the 5D Mark II.
That was 2008, so that was 6 years.
Right.
It's already been 2 years, almost the 3 came
Absolutely has lost its pro title.
Yeah.
It's just how it works with the technology changing. That, to me, today is not a professional camera that I would go into business using.
Well, in today's standards, yeah.
As a full-time professional. And there's multiple reasons. Now, on the Nikon side, if you had a Nikon D3S, that still holds its professional end of it.
Well, that's like saying a 1D Mark III or 4 is not a pro camera
I think a
anymore.
1D Mark IV would still hold its end. But actually,
that would be similar to the D3S.
It may, but the 1DX and I think the 5D Mark III so blew that out of the water that you would buy something like that.
Yeah.
Because I think the 5D Mark III is going to have a longer shelf life than the 5D Mark II because the ISO was much better, the video capabilities were much better. So 4 years out, that camera is going to be better.
Well, then they're also saying now that they're rumored to be working on the Canon 1DX Mark II and the 5D Mark IV
for 2015.
For 2015, we'll see. They're saying there's new sensor technology, which they're also going to put in the rumored 7D Mark II. We'll see if it all comes to light.
Yeah, Canon's going to be crushing it. Canon has crushed it for the last 2 years, 2.5 years since they came out, the 1DX and the 5D Mark III. Awesome job with that.
Yeah.
Barbara Fail, Phal. What goes into a good business card? I have seen many, but they all seem tacky and have too much going on. It's a very interesting subject Sutter, switch seats with Sam Green for me for a minute.
Yep.
And if you got to do your thing.
Yep, that's actually good timing.
Sam Green, thank you for. I guess you needed to come in today. Where'd you get your cards?
They were from a company called Plastic Printers.
Okay, funny thing about plastic printers. They contacted me recently.
Did they?
They did. They wanted to work out something where they would give me free shit. And I'm just straight up honest, everybody out there. They wanted to give me free stuff. And then...
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, they're not going to do what they originally said.
That would be cool, yeah.
But...
How come? Well, finish your story.
Well, we may talk about that. But basically, plasticprinters.com reached out to me. I thought that's where you got your business cards made.
It is.
And they are the plastic ones that look like a camera. And those are unique. But how much were those?
I forget exactly, but expensive.
How much per card?
I think it's like 75 cents a card or something
Which is
like
pretty
that.
expensive for a card. When
Yeah.
I was buying 1,000 business cards for $26 shipped, 4-color front, 4-color back. But with your plastic card, they're making me one for like the See the World thing, which is similar to yours but better.
Wow.
Bold statement.
It has color, it has other things like that, which was more expensive.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
a lot of cards are tacky. I've seen the metal cards, which are like aluminum cards, which are like $2 a piece.
Yeah.
I've seen the plastic cards like yours, which I like yours, and I like the plastic cards for one reason, that they stand out. They are different than what other people are doing. Sure, certain things are tacky. Oh, thank you, Sam Green. That's 75 cents right there. So this has your information. I like the way that this is done. I would have printed this in green.
I wanted to, but it was like, doing the two colors then.
Did it
because
go
the
way
white
up?
isn't technically a color.
Oh, all right.
It's like an underlay.
Okay,
And so
well-
it's technically just one color with the black. So it would have been like another screen print, and like,
Got it.
The cost would have been more.
So I'm doing it with green printing on here. So it's going to be a little similar to this. But yeah, a lot of cards are tacky. I think cards are things that I don't even touch anymore. People hand me their cards and I do read them and I put them in my pocket, but then they all go in a big pile
Mine too.
that I don't look at. But if you hand somebody something like this, they're more likely to remember it and be less likely to throw this out. Like Sutter made these wood cards out of from high school.
Yeah.
Here they are. If you're watching at home, he made these wood cards. It's unique. You don't want to throw these out. So, all right, you can switch back.
Okay.
Thank you. No, I just wanted you to talk about. I wanted to see where I didn't know where you got them from.
Yeah, they were plastic printers. But I was just going to say, I agree with that was the whole mentality behind getting the plastic cards was, I went to all these like photo conventions, like, Photo Plus and all this shit. And I get, a stack of business cards this high, and, by the end of the day, they're all trashed, wrinkled, and ripped. And I
Yeah.
just end up throwing them away.
Very
And
true.
I was like, well, I kind of feel bad throwing this out because, like, somebody went out of their way to like give this to me and network and everything. So I didn't want that to happen to me.
Exactly. I agree. Thank you.
Yep.
But so that's my answer to this question, is that you have to do something that's unique. Whether you go to this plastic printer's place, which is pretty expensive at 75 cents a card. I'm giving you this back so you don't have to lose your 70 cents. That's on the expensive side. But you have to think of it, if you're giving out these cards and you get a $3,000 or $4,000 job to shoot a wedding, then it's well worth it. I have these bobbleheads. These are great leave behinds. Not the best business card.
Here, put this in your
Put
pocket.
this in your pocket. But when I go to a meeting or I ship this to a client or a prospective client, they're not throwing this out. It's going to go on a shelf. It's going to go somewhere.
Even if it's like a paperweight,
Even if it is a paperweight, this is something that's not going to get, they're going to remember it. So the key to business cards or leave behinds is something that they're going to remember. I hate the Moo cards that are the mini Moo cards.
See, I don't mind them, actually.
The mini ones?
Yeah.
That I can't stand them because they get lost in my pocket.
Well, I think any business card gets lost in your pocket, but
Talking about these.
are they...
No, that's a square. I don't like the more horizontal
You'd like
ones.
the
Oh,
rectangle
okay.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we should probably move on from this discussion a little bit. But I'm going to be getting some cards done from plasticprinters.com. I also am getting luggage tags.
That'll be cool.
I'm probably going to give those away. I'm not going to sell those luggage tags. I'm going to put them in with orders of a certain value. But they're tags for your camera bag, and it's going to have the Fro logo, and it's going to say "I Shoot Raw" on the back. You could put it on your luggage so you know that it's yours when it comes out of the turnstile. But yeah, they have some cool products on there, you're just going to pay a pretty penny for them, but you have to weigh the justification of, is this worth having? Is somebody just going to throw it out? And it just has to be unique and different. Yeah, Sutter. And then we're moving
And I
on.
feel like regardless if you can't afford anything like this, you should have a card, because even if someone hands me the crappy all white black letter card on it and I need their email, that just served its purpose right
Agreed.
there.
And with that said, do not use Vistaprint for your free cards.
Please don't.
Because when you're in business and somebody, when I get a card from a quote unquote professional and I flip it over and it says printed free at Vistaprint, get your 150 free. That just means that you don't value the worth of your business. It looks, it's almost like having an AOL email address.
What, is that bad?
Yeah, it's the worst thing you could have anymore.
Wait, what was your AIM thing again?
What?
Your screen name?
Make amends?
That's what it was. All right.
AOL Instant Messenger.
That was since 1994.
Is that still around, AIM?
I think
I'm
so.
sure.
I don't.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm going to move on. We talked enough about that. But yes, have a business card and even let people take a picture of the damn thing at this point,
Yep.
so that they could have it. That's what I rather take a picture of somebody and put it, or email them directly from my phone than deal with the card, because then we've already made the contact. There's an email that's already been sent. There's already been something. Okay, sorry. That took a while. But it was good information, right?
It was good, yeah.
Not to be a dick.
Let me preface this.
I think I'm done with saying not to be a dick.
Because I think it's expected now.
think
Not
I'm
that
just
you're
gonna-
going to be a dick. I just mean that.
I think I'm just going to
you're gonna
own
say
it.
That.
It's just me saying me.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gallioni. There's no E on the end. I mean, there is an E, but it's silent. There seems to be a lot of repeating in themes questions that are asked to you. Is there any question you wish people would stop asking? So let me explain this to you, Mr. Eckert. Sometimes I repeat certain questions that I think are worthwhile to people that may just be coming on to the show now. Not everybody knows everything that I've ever done for the last 4 years, so certain questions I think are worthy of doing again. But certain questions like, when do I turn pro? How do I know when to buy my next camera?
Super broad questions.
Super broad questions. What I look for when it comes to these questions, and I don't want to say it when I'm saying, hey, it's time for flying solo, please do X, Y, and Z, because I don't want to lead the witness. But what I'm looking for is conciseness. I don't want an 8-paragraph thing. I'm not going to read it when there's 150 to 200 answers that came in and I have to make a show. Make it concise. Get to the point. Ask your question. Make it hard-hitting and go from there.
Yeah.
But gear-related, what do I buy next and stuff like that, I'm not going to talk about. But the business card thing, it's a good question.
That's a good
How much
question.
time do we have?
We just hit 1 hour, and we have 10 minutes on the clock.
All right, get the Wheel of Fro. Why don't we give the lady a spin?
Yes.
For her question, being that we spent so much time on
For her
it.
question about questions.
On the new Wheel of Fro.
Oh, the new and improved Wheel of Fro. I sounded like Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I got is this her name? Oh, it's Barbara. Okay. Barbara Fail is going to get the new Wheel of Fro. So what we have on this new Wheel of Fro, thank you to the guy last week who spun the wheel that I forgot his name.
Starts with a D.
I know
I
it starts with a D. I remembered the D part. And then, look, he used the really good Wheel of Fro thing here. Wheel of Fro right here. You can see that he's a student. So basically he contacted me and said, hey, I want to make the Wheel of Fro stuff. And it looks good.
Very good.
There were certain changes that we may make and put like strokes on things, stroke on, stroke off, stuff like that. But I think now seeing all of the stuff here, it really works and looks better. How's it look on the camera, Eckert?
I think it looks good.
All right, so what do we have on the wheel? We've got borrow lenses. You're probably happy about this, right?
Well,
The new wheel?
Well, because it looks a lot better than pieces of paper taped on the wheel.
That's true.
For weeks and weeks and weeks.
We got borrow lenses, $250 in borrow lenses credit. Squarespace, go to squarespace.com/fro. Get a 14-day free trial with that. A Fro prize, which allows me to pick what the prize is going to be. I get to do that, which is good.
Rapid fire critique.
What was that?
Rapid
it
fire
could be a
critique?
rapid fire critique. It could be something like that's valued at $7,000, by the way.
Dang.
Black Rapid strap, so you could get a Black Rapid strap sent from them. There's another Fro prize. We got Think Tank Photo, which is a bag. Rode microphone, which we're going to switch to giving away, I think, the Smart Labs now.
Nice.
So last week when it landed on that kid's thing, he's going to get the Smart Lab.
Smart Lab Plus.
Smart Lab Plus, right, with
Wow.
more plus. Another Fro prize?
I just did it exactly how the paper was there. Because
Okay.
there were some that were singles and some that were both guides.
Sounds good to me. Adorama Picks giving $250 in... Oh, $200?
$250, right?
No, they're not
no,
giving
that's-
money.
that's
they're
Pro
giving
Lenses.
they're giving a free
photo book.
stuff.
Yeah,
Free
yeah.
books,
That's it.
prints, maybe print credit. Borrow Lenses on there twice. Squarespace, Lexar. We've never landed on that, so not sure what that ends up being. And then there's a question mark and another Rode microphone. Let's spin the wheel here for Mrs. Barbara Fail, and here we go.
Wheel of Fro!
I got water all over the place. I hit the water cup. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. We tightened the wheel today, so it's spinning much better. Where it's going to stop is Fro Prize, Black Rabbit, Fro Prize, Fro Prize!
Valued at $7,000.
This Fro Prize has been valued at $9 million. So I will be contacting you, Barbara, and I'm going to give you some options for things that you would like. Would you like the beginner guides? Would you like a bobblehead? What would you like? I'm going to reach out to you. Thank you for spinning the wheel
Oh,
of
yeah, you
Fro.
can give away bobbleheads now. I didn't even think about that.
I can. 'Cause
Dang, bobblehead.
They bobble and they wiggle. Not only do they bobble, but they hobble.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, so it was funny. I was I Tindered on Saturday.
Oh, you're
Oh,
Tindering
God.
away. That's dangerous.
It was dangerous. So I met this girl at Barcade. We went. We hung out.
So you both swiped right, huh?
We both swiped right. I know. I want to have a shirt swiped right.
Swipe right.
You know. Yeah. I swiped right.
Yeah.
She swiped right also. But no. So we met. She told her about the bobblehead because it was Saturday and that's when it launched. And so she wanted to come back to my place to see my bobblehead.
No.
Hey.
The funny thing is, she never got to actually see this bobblehead before she left. 2 hours later.
She saw your other bobblehead,
It's
huh?
possible. I cannot confirm nor deny that.
Good old Tinder.
Okay, back to the questions. Bubba Cade, would you ever photograph someone or something that you feel is against your ethical standards, even if they are paying a premium fee?
Ooh.
This is a great question also. I was in this situation once. There was this thing, I'm not even going to mention who they were or what they were, but it's like an internet marketing thing. And I shot it once for them because I went through this phase where I was shooting internet marketing events because people were starting to ask me to do so because I did some of the big ones for free just to get in to get to get education and to meet people. And I met some amazing people in business that I still talk to today because they're just great business people. But then I got a call from this one and I went out and I did it. And when I was just sitting there, I was just shaking my head. I was shaking my head with the bullshit they were spewing it was bad information that they're selling people. They're trying to sell them the dream that they can make it online in the world by doing this. And basically all they do is make this money off of these people by selling them false hope. You can make it in the online world. There are ways to go about doing that to be successful, but instead of educating, all they tried to do was sell everything. You're at an event. If you're going to go to a live event, I want to be taught at a live event. I want to hear, I don't want a pitch fest, which means people stand up on stage and just sell everything instead of delivering the real deal solid content. So they asked me to do it the next year, and I refused to do it. I'm like, I don't agree with what you're doing. I don't believe in how your ethics of selling this stuff. And there's nothing you could pay me to get me to do this job.
Did he say specifically what it was that he was debating on?
No, he just asked if I've ever been in that situation. Okay. So if you're ever in a situation where something is totally against your beliefs or ethics, then why would any amount of money cover why would you ever take money to cut away your ethics?
Yeah, I agree.
Moving on. Liz Sauerbrunn, Brunn, NN. SAUERBRUNN. With all of the nonstop work you do to maintain and grow Frono's Photo and now Frono's Movies, plug, do you think you'll ever have time to tour with a band for an extended period of time again? If so, is there a dream band or artist you would put Frono's Photo on hold for to tour with? Thanks. Good question.
I think I know the answer.
I think I do too.
What's the answer?
I think that you wouldn't tour even if you got offered, or if you would do it, you would only do it for like a week max. And the band, that's a good question. I don't know what band you would
Think
do
about
it
a band, and I will answer the question, and then you'll...
with. Is this band that I know?
I mean, probably. They play on your station occasionally. It's not REM. I mean, not Jeremy Says.
Chains Addiction?
Not Jane. I already did that. It's not
Jeremy Says?
Jeremy Spoken.
Pearl Jam?
Pearl Jam. No, so here's the thing. I don't think there is a band that I would put this business on hold for, or this photography thing on hold for, because I get bored on the road. I think that's more than anything. Is the longest tour I did was 6 weeks with Perry Farrell of Jane's Addiction, and you just get lost in the world. It's like the whole world stops because you're not in it anymore.
Black hole.
You're just, it's the black hole. You're living with 12 people on a bus for weeks and weeks at a time, and so you're a family. But then you get home and you're like, holy shit, I don't. What's going to happen?
Yeah, how do I start my life back up again?
You've missed 6 weeks of everything. You don't really follow the news. You're not following up with people. And yeah, Facebook helps and stuff these days, but you're out of it.
Well, can you imagine what it was like before the smartphone?
Oh yeah,
or
no, you didn't even have
laptop
phones.
or
Imagine
whatever.
if before cell phone. Imagine in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, I mean,
just touring in old buses.
you were your world. Just traveling around.
Yeah, that's why they did a lot of drugs, because the road was tough.
Yeah.
But no, that's the truth. So no, the longest I would go on the road for would be 3-4 days to a week max.
Right.
at a max. But what band would it be?
Group Love?
Hell no.
No.
Gimme your love, 'cause I'm waiting for
Newer band? Older band?
Older band.
Older band. How old?
Huge band.
Huge.
One of the biggest bands in the world. They just played Firefly.
They just played Foo Fighters.
Yeah. I would do the Foo Fighters for like...
Because Dave Grohl is the man.
I would do the Foo Fighters for maybe like 5 days.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because massive shows, massive tours, huge amount of crew people behind the scenes.
Funny guys.
Great. I mean, Dave Grohl is an ADD guy.
Mm-hmm.
He is nonstop. When I met him, he was bouncing off the walls. Bouncing off the walls again. Woo!
Sugar Cult.
Is that Sugar Cult?
Yeah.
Anyway, I would, for the Foo Fighters, I would go for a couple days.
Yeah.
Other people, if it would be 2 to 3 days 3 to 4 days on the road max, and I would still be able to run the business.
I think he's always up and like ADHD because he drinks coffee nonstop. There's a YouTube video. It's called Fresh Pots. Yeah, it's great. He's just drinking pots
really?
pots of coffee, and he's like drumming. And he's like, "Wait, fresh pot," and just drinking coffee.
So
all the
I
time.
like that. Plus, when you're with the Foo Fighters, there's so many people that come to the shows that hang out. Other celebrity types, other musicians. Like when I met Dave Grohl, Perry Farrell, literally, Perry Farrell and I were walking. Is it all right if I take a side, Sutter? Is it all right if I go into the story?
Yeah, we're only at an hour and 10 minutes.
All right. Perry Farrell, we were at LA Invasion, which is one of those large festival shows in LA, and that's where I met Haley for the first. I think I met her personally.
Ooh, Haley from Paramore.
Yeah,
Huh?
I took photos with her
hello.
and Slash and those people together, because Slash was on tour with Velvet Revolver, and holy crap, was the lead singer of that band so heroined out. It wasn't even funny.
They're still looking for a new lead singer for that band. They've been looking for the past like 3-4 years.
Right. So Perry took me around to everybody's dressing room because he wanted to say hi. There was Chris Cornell. So we sat there and talked to Chris Cornell, and he
Super nice
introduces
guy.
you to him. Then he introduced you. We went and saw Be Real from Insane in the Membrane fame.
Oh, I was like, "Be real." I don't even remember that name.
Yeah, from Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
So we walked into that room, and we got high.
I was gonna
just
say,
walking into the room.
Did it smell like a skunk in there?
It was pretty bad. That was in the days where Be Real got fat. He's not fat anymore, thankfully. Then we went in to meet Dave Grohl, And while I was there, I met Chris Novoselic. Novoselic, right?
I think it's Novoselic.
It's Novoselic, but not your station, but the
no, wait,
iHeartRadio.
Maybe it's Novoselic.
They
or
call
something.
it Nova. They mess it up. It's Novoselic.
Just look on YouTube and see if he says his name.
Right. So there was him, and I met Pat Smear. All of these guys just standing backstage.
Original Nirvana guys.
All of them. It was cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll move on. .org.
Wait, did you? Oh, never mind.
Did I answer the
I
question?
was just gonna say, did you name the band Foo Fighters? We've just been talking about them.
Heath Smith. I keep running into the same issue whenever I want to write a blog post or make a video about photography. I always find some sort of reason not to. I would love to know what made and kept. Well, it's spelled. What keeps you making videos and posts over the last few years? I know that at some point you get burned out, and with me working a full-time job, active military, thanks for your service, what drove you to do it? Your mom, your dad, Lil? This is a good question again. Do you know the answer to this?
Well, what people don't actually know is that you're really a robot. You're not a person.
I agree.
He does not sleep.
And bro, with a package.
You're just a giant bobblehead.
Beep, boop.
I have this thing where if I'm not doing anything, you know how uneasy I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking 4 years ago other than, hey, I want to make content and I'm going to make a lot of it. Because I look back at it now, especially with Frono's movies and working to build something again from almost scratch, it's like, how the hell did I continue to do that? I don't know. I was hyper-focused. The key is being hyper-focused. I had all of my time being spent doing that.
I think that's a big thing, too.
I didn't go out and get drunk. Well, I still never go out and get drunk. But I didn't go to the bar every night of the week. I didn't take any time that was off. Well, there was no off time because I worked for myself. I was a photographer. But every waking moment for me was spent thinking about how I could make more content, edit more content, post more content, interact with more people. Not everybody can do that, especially being that you're active military. But what you have to focus on is if you have a video you want to make and you sit there and you say you find a reason not to, tell yourself, this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun. Do you even know what that's from?
Full Metal. I'm just kidding.
I don't remember. I know I've
Classic.
seen it before though.
Choke yourself, soldier!
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal
There we
Jacket.
go.
Look, you've got to just push through it. If you tell yourself no, tell yourself yes. Your heart may be saying no, but your body's saying let's go. And it's a genie in a bottle, so you just got to rub it and let her on out. My advice to you is if you're telling yourself no, take the opposite of it. Go force yourself to do it and create it. Create the content, put it out there into the world, and just do it. That's a Nike quote, allegedly. Was that good?
Yeah, well, and I think one of the big things, like I was saying earlier, is that you had so much free time because you did work for yourself and you dedicated all your time toward the website.
I was single the whole time.
Single. I mean everything kind of lined right
actually,
up.
A breakup was what forced me to focus on this.
Really?
Yeah. Well, heartbreak is what focused me because I had to do something, or you just drive yourself crazy
to
about
get
the
your
girl.
mind over the girl.
So I focused heavily on work. And that, I don't know, maybe I need to see a The Rapist. I'm not sure. I'm debating going to a The Rapist because I know a lot of people do go to them.
I think Alex Trebek knows where he is.
Yeah. Well, I need to figure, I don't know. I may try it. I tried yoga. That didn't work. Piano, that didn't work too well either. The Rapist, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sit there and listen to them, but I may try because I a lot of times hide everything away and working my freaking ass off. So it's good in some ways and bad in others.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, Gordon Burns. Gordon.
It's Gordon.
Is
It's
that
pronounced Gordon.
So you want to talk about marketing and branding? I get the Jared, should have gone to Jared. Or Jared from Subway for a long time when they did those commercials. Now, when Sprint's doing these, it's pronounced Gordon. that resonates. That is good marketing. So anyway, this guy's name's Gordon Burns.
I used to get the drugstore all the time because when Eckerd was around, the drugstore.
Right, Eckerd got bought by Rite Aid.
Yep.
Sutter
Thank
Home
God.
Wine.
What is it?
Sutter Home wine.
Oh,
Just sit there.
You've never heard of Sutter Home?
I have, but I just didn't put it together. I don't know.
No. That's the only thing I can think of.
Gordon Burns. As a portrait photographer, I get asked by a lot of clients to make images like insert photographer here. Any tips on how to be more assertive about my vision for my portraits? Yes. The way that you are more assertive about the vision for your portraits is you show them photos that are your style. They're buying you for your style. There's nothing wrong with giving them maybe what they want, but then giving them, I say this all the time, give them what they want, but also give them what you think they need. So give them the option. Sometimes when they're paying clients and it pays well, you just go, okay. And you shoot it the way that you like it, and maybe they're going to like yours better anyway. But, they say, oh, we like this. Well, okay, so this is what you say to them. Like, we love the style that this person does. You go, that's cool. I like those shots as well. Here's what I'm thinking that I could wrap it around to make it similar, but in more of my style. And then that's how you diffuse it a little bit and give yourself the leeway because you've got to create your own style.
Yeah, I've always just got the safe pictures out of the way, anything they really specifically wanted, and then worked and did my own thing after that and mixed it up.
Good call. Mm-hmm. Akeem J. Casey, in the 4 years of Frono's Photo, what is the one business move or pivot that you wish you wouldn't have made and the one you wish you would have made? Even if you made the pivot, do you wish you had pulled the trigger earlier? I try not to second guess these type of things as much as I second guess everything, because I'm a very second guesser type things. But in the business, the number one thing that I am very happy that I did, well, we talked about the pivot early on. The pivot that I made early on was to go the direction of teaching online and being the conduit to help people become more educated. When I originally started, and I've said this before, and I'll just keep it short, is that I thought it was going to help me get more photo jobs. That wasn't the case very early on. But I was getting a ton of following and a ton of questions coming in to help people learn. I pivoted in that direction. Another pivot that I took was to, since day one, this was my business. My name's on it. I am the only owner. There are no partners. There haven't been any partners. There aren't any partners. I can't tell you that there won't be in the future because, I don't know that there ever will be, but there haven't been. And I think There have been people that I've worked with. There are people that have been a part of this. There are people that have I'm choosing words here. There are people that have contributed to creating content, and sometimes you have to go separate ways for the betterment of what you're doing. Because if you don't agree, if say that person doesn't agree with you, and you think that you should do one thing and they think you should do another, well, when it's your business, I would certainly hope that you can take other people's advice, but also know what direction you need to go and live with it. So when you make your own choices as a business owner, you live with it and you just react when changes need to be happen. I'm happy with all the changes I've made and the direction that we've gone. I think it's been a lot of the right choices to get to where we're sitting at today at this table.
I agree.
I wouldn't be sitting here in this Philadelphia place if I didn't make some of the choices and changes and decisions, hard decisions, that I've made along the way. And that's a hard question, but I'm not shying away from hard questions because I asked for them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people wouldn't even ever answer hard questions.
That is very true.
Nicholas Irwin, not Binky Irwin's dad. Do you know
who's
it's
Binky Irwin?
Bindi Irwin.
Who's Bindi
Steve
Irwin?
Irwin's daughter, who's now 16.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Binti Irwin. I'm gonna go get an alligator.
I don't think I've ever seen that video.
She's a croc hunter also.
Binky.
Bindi, B-I-N-D-I. Does it really matter which eye you use when looking through a viewfinder? I've always used my left eye since I was a kid. It seems most photographers using their right eye and not so many using their left eye. I'm right-handed, by the way. What eye do you use?
I use my left eye.
What eye do you use?
I use my right eye.
What's your name? Sam Green. What eye do you use? All right. Are you left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed.
Right-handed.
I'm left-handed, and I use my left eye. I am left eye dominant.
I'm flip-flopped with a lot of things, though. Like, I bat lefty, I do hockey left, but I right. But I'm left. I guess I shoot with my left eye.
I've always shot with my left eye because...
TLC.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Too soon.
No, not too soon, is
No,
it?
it's been a while.
Yeah.
Like 15 years.
I was going to say.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the valleys you're used to. When you're gonna something, we're standing in a waterfalls, and I don't know the rest of the words.
Don't know the words.
Okay, so I forget the question. Left eye. I use my left eye because I'm left eye dominant. That's what I use. There is no right or wrong eye to use because in the viewfinder, well, for some cameras, most cameras, the viewfinder's right in the middle. So it doesn't matter whether you use the left eye or whether you use the right eye. If you are using a, what are those other ones called?
Rangefinder.
Rangefinders. A lot of the eyes are either on there's a lot of time on the left, right?
Yes.
Correct? Sorry.
Yes.
They're on the left. So they're more designed for people with the right eye so that their face isn't being smushed against the back of the camera. So I just think most people are right eye dominant. They use the right eye. I had a rant that I wanted
I think
to
I
go
just
on.
see better with my left eye. I don't know if that's why or if it's just more comfortable. I don't know. I don't know why I
It's
chose
whatever
that eye.
works is the answer. I
Yeah.
saw an ad on Facebook for like a I Shoot People photo T-shirt, which a bunch of people sent it to me. Like, what do you think about this? Well, my comment was, if you're gonna make a T-shirt that's photo related, the camera shouldn't be freaking backwards.
Yeah, and I don't think Six Flags would let them in the park with that shirt.
No. But remind me to show you something after this about that.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to show me.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it.
That'll be
it's
cool.
going to be pretty good. All right, good question. JC Williams, what is the best way to ask out a wedding photographer? I was at a wedding and she was shooting Nikon. So I struck up a conversation about her body, camera body.
Hey, I'm Team Nikon too. What's up?
I
Nice body.
couldn't think of a way to close the deal quickly because I didn't want to distract her. Any good pickup lines for fellow photographers? Yeah, this is a tough one because I've been the photographer in these situations. There's been lots of bridesmaids to hit on, and it's hard because you have to focus on your job.
Yeah.
And they have to focus. But if there is a girl or a guy or whoever you're looking for at a wedding or something like this, strike up a conversation when they're not busy and you're not taking away and distracting them. Because there's nothing worse than shooting a wedding and having somebody over your shoulder the whole time going, what camera should I buy? What are your settings? What should
really
I
is
do?
the worst.
It's like, I don't mean to be a dick because I'm working and I can't sit here and teach you right now because I'd have to charge.
Yep.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're
Damn
like,
right.
ding, it's better than yours. Damn right, ding. But I'd have to charge.
Who was it that sang that again?
Kesha,
No, not Kesha.
Khalees.
Khalees, that's it.
Ding. I think she was married to Master of the P.
Oh, Master of the P.
Maybe. All right. So you walk up and you say, hey, I'm a photographer also. What are you doing later? Or if she goes to the bar and get a drink, which as a wedding photographer, don't ever go to the bar and get a drink. I don't care if they offer you an alcoholic beverage. You never get an alcoholic beverage when you're working. No, in my opinion, you do not drink the beer. You do not drink an alcohol. You do not do that. You can drink a Coke. You can drink a water. You can do stuff like that. Never, ever let them see you drinking alcohol at a party.
Yeah.
That's not your
Big
party.
no-no.
That's not your party. It's not your party, and you cannot cry if you want to.
I will say, though, I when I photographed a wedding recently, I was told after the fact by the bride that one of the bridesmaids was trying to hit on me, but she realized that I had a girlfriend, and my girlfriend was actually there at the time. I was like, I wish she would have said something.
Steven, you player.
I know, I try.
That's good stuff, too.
But I don't crush a lot. But I crush a lot.
You mean Big Pun?
Yeah.
They don't even know who Big Pun is.
Big Pun.
All right, I need to keep moving here. Ivan Liu. I'm a photojournalist and a cinematographer, just my hobbies. When I want to brand myself, let's say on my website, you should check out squarespace.com/fro. Should I brand myself both cause I can do because you got to use because. Sorry, grammar police. And I shouldn't be a grammar police.
I was gonna say,
I
you
should
of all
not be a
people.
grammar police, but every once in a while. Should I brand myself both, comma, cause I can do both, comma, capital, just that I don't know if I should because I could be a bit, because what he's asking is, should he brand himself as a video guy and a photo guy? Absolutely, why not?
Yeah, I would
if
say
those
yes.
are the things that you do and that's what you're known for, then go for it. Own it. Be that, because that's what you should be. And that's my answer.
There's a lot of people that brand themselves as both video and photo these days.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nicholas Schmalholz. It's SCHMALHOLZ. Schmalholz.
I would say so.
Do you already know if you fly over to Germany for the Photokina? Deutschland would appreciate it. Wow. Appreciate it. I can't say nein because we're working on it.
We are.
We may be coming to Deutschland. Deutschland, Deutschland, Deutschland. Oh, wait, that's the
The American version?
No, that was
Is that Canada?
No.
Oh, Canada.
That's Oh Canada. This was more like the royal one for the British. Dun 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 dun. I could be completely wrong. We may be going to Germany. We're working on it. We're working with a bunch of companies to try to make it happen. And if we do, I would like to go back to London and hold a boot camp. Are you interested in doing a boot camp if anybody's in London, as well as a live RAWtalk before we get to Germany and then hang out with a bunch of you guys at Photokina?
That would be cool.
Bruno Ferreira. When photographing a musician who you've never shot before backstage, how do you go about breaking the ice with them so that they feel comfortable with you hanging around and then taking pictures? So the way that you break the ice with some of these guys is you can either say hello or you have the tour manager introduce you. Because if your contact was the tour manager or somebody other than the band, because most of the time your contact's not going to be the band, ask them to introduce you to the person, and then you can strike up a dialogue because they will sell you for yourself. So the manager or tour manager will come and be like, hey, yeah, here's this photographer. Does awesome work.
And they trust the tour manager more than they trust you because they just met you.
So you're using a conduit. I don't recommend just walking randomly up to people unless you have a connection. If you had a connection with an artist, you'd be like, hey, you know what? Your friend John says hello from this band. Oh, how do you know John? Oh, I toured with them. Credibility.
Yep.
What'd you do for them? Oh, I did their photos. Oh, sweet. I'd love to see some of those. That's when you pull out your phone and you hit the Squarespace app that says portfolio and you go, oh, here, take a look. That's how you do it. That was a good answer.
That was a good answer.
Holy Jesus.
Boom.
Good. How far in?
We're at 128.
Holy Jesus. That's all I got for questions. What do you think about these questions this time?
I think they were good. I think they were very good. They were more diverse, I would say. They were more specific, actually, than most of the questions we've had before. I just get more annoyed of the comparison questions, like this lens or that lens, this
Right.
body or that body, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I forgot. We didn't do
We didn't do Gear of the Week, which we're going to do right now.
We
But
skipped right over that.
well, we didn't skip over it.
We usually do it right after Wheel of Fro, don't we?
Oh, sometimes.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
This is a DJI Phantom.
Where's the blades?
Oh, I haven't built it yet.
Actually, it's a new hover version.
Yeah, it uses magnets. This is the Phantom 2 Plus.
Phantom Vision 2 Plus. I
So
believe
it's
is the
kind of
official
similar
name.
to the Smart Lav Plus.
Yeah, everyone's just plussing it up.
I mean, might as well just put a plus.
Why
So
not the D800 Plus?
what's different? What's different about this one is that it still has. What was that?
Sounds like
That was a dog. Like
parrot.
a dying dog.
It still has the same camera as the other one, just in a different shape.
So we're sure nothing changed on that, like no sensor. or
They
anything?
told me that it's the same exact sensor.
Gotcha.
They just shrunk everything because now they added the 3-way axis gimbal, just like you can get with the GoPro version, which we have to chat. We still have to go out. I think we're gonna have some drone wars. We're gonna fly them around and maybe like try not to hit each other, but maybe if it accidentally hits each other, that would be pretty cool.
Just make sure they don't use the same frequencies, because then someone's gonna take over someone else's drone.
That's true.
That is good.
So this has the 3-way axis gimbal on the bottom with the much smaller camera. I cannot wait to fly this. It's going to be so much more stable than the Vision 2, because it didn't have any stabilization other than these bumpers.
Well, and when you're coming down from the Vision, the original Vision 2, it's so jerky and shaky.
Because it's
this
cutting
one-
through the wind, basically.
Exactly. This one will be great. Stills, obviously, you don't have to worry about that stuff, but video.
Well, the stills were good.
Yeah, but I'm saying you didn't have to worry about how shaky it was and all that stuff, but this is going to be really good for video.
Absolutely. So that's the DJI Phantom 2 Plus, banned from shooting anywhere.
Yeah, don't bring it to a national park.
Not yet, unless you get approval. So
Approval, yeah.
I think we're going to wrap it up there. Good questions.
Very good.
When I ask for questions, that's what I'm looking for. Hard-hitting questions are fine. I don't mind if they get personal. I don't mind like the one talking about the pivot. I'm going to answer almost anything honestly. Well, I'm going to answer everything honestly, and I'll answer almost any question. So
Yeah, as long as they're specific, that's really all we
get to the
we
point.
ask for.
That is, and getting to the point teaches you how to get in touch with people in the first place when you're doing business. When you reach out to people and you send an email, if you send these long ass drawn out things, if you want to send a novel, make sure in the first couple sentences you explain why the hell you're sending a novel, and I'll put it, because I get a lot of long emails from people who are like, you saved my life, or I've had this success because you've done this. and I've learned this, and it's a long thing, and it's nice to read those, but when people are asking general questions, you need to get to the points quickly. So if you keep them concise and you don't keep them so generic, then we'll be good with answering questions for Flying Solo.
And do not message on Facebook if you're asking for like a professional opinion of something. Email is much better format.
The good thing here. So I know that it happens to all of us, and there's a way to do things and a way not to do things. If you are a personal friend with somebody, you can send them what are they called? A message?
Like a Facebook message?
Yeah, what is it called when it pops up at the bottom?
Messenger.
A chat? You can send a friend that you know a chat. If you don't know me personally, or you don't know Steven or anybody in general, and it becomes like a business type thing, I don't just say, hey, what's going on? Because chat to me is a personal thing that I use with friends.
Yeah.
When it comes
I actually have mine turned off.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to asking questions, the Fronos Photo Facebook page accepts questions. It does. You can send messages there, but make sure they're concise and quick and to the point, which is what concise means. But sending chat messages is not a way to get my attention, but it's just a way to say it just seems like not the right ethical thing to do.
I don't even check my Facebook messages anymore because I get random messages from either bands or photographers or whatever, and it just gets cluttered, and I don't think it's really a professional.
I have 2,500 unopened messages on Facebook.
Yeah, so if I haven't responded to you, it's because I don't check it.
Right. I answer the wall sometimes, but there's the questions on the website. Twitter is still one of the best ways to interact because you're forced to have 140 characters. You can @Fronos Photo on it, and I generally read the stuff and can give you a quick response.
I interact almost every time on Twitter, unless I'm busy or forget or something like that.
Yup. All right, so there we have it. We're going to wrap it up here. We talked about, we had the Rode Smart Labs that came in, also the Invisilab.
Invisilab. We can use them
We
finally.
can tape it to my chest for Fronos Movies.
Nice.
Speaking of Fronos Movies, I'm talking about it. Go to Fronos Movie. Go to youtube.com/Fronos Movies, or you can actually go to FronosMovies.com, and it will take you right to YouTube. We have 4 full episodes up. If you go to iTunes and you just want to listen to the episodes or the trailer previews, search out Fronos Movies on iTunes, and you can download and you can listen to it. If you like content and you're looking for something else to hold over your week when RAWtalk is over, and you want more Fronos Photo stuff, then check out Fronos Movies. If you like it, thank you. Please subscribe. If you don't like it, thank you. It's okay. So we've got that. We talked about these business cards. Where'd they come from again? Plasticprinters.com, and as soon as I get as soon as I get my shipment of stuff from them, I actually wanted the cards that I'm getting are more handouts for when I meet them in person.
Okay.
It's something cool that I can give them, because I don't give business cards out because it has my personal information on it, and I don't want to get random phone calls.
Yeah.
But I have
which you get already.
Which I already get, but which is fine sometimes. It's just something to hand out that's cool that people can use. It's actually a useful thing. That's the key to those. Any leave behind in card is that it serves some kind of purpose, and it's not just going to get thrown out. We don't need to revisit that again. Thanks, Squarespace. You want to get a 14-day free trial, go to squarespace.com/Fro. Use code FRO if you decide that you want to keep it. That will help the site keep going on and going on. Seattle, Creative Live, July
2 weeks.
10th through 12th. You're going to join me. You'll
I will be there
as my assistant. We're going to have live audience for Fronos Photo RAWtalk Live.
That'll be fun and interesting to see how it turns out.
That should be fun. Keep an eye out for that Atomos video that we did for the Squarespace thing. That's going to be cool. Maybe we should end up making a behind-the-scenes video of how we do that in case other people want to do it.
Yeah, that would be good. And we could make a behind-the-scenes of how we just film the regular DSLR menu for like the D3300 guide too.
That'd be cool, because this could be something useful for people in other avenues for business.
Yeah, there's so many things you could do.
Thank you for your photo news.
Yes, sir.
Sam Green, thanks for, I guess, sitting over there. Sutter, thank you.
Yes, sir.
We did everything. We talked about everything. We're going to go turn on some 2 Live Crew right now.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, you can find all of the information, all the photo news at FronosPhoto.com/RAWtalk-92 to get all the information and all the stories. And don't forget, the links are always down below.
Are they?
Jared Polin, FronosPhoto.com. See ya.